Hello everyone, this is Nimish. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to review the movie Cold Case starring the one and only Prithviraj, also starring Aditi Balan. This is released on Amazon Prime today and I have done the teaser and trailer reaction. Those are my last two videos, so definitely check it out because I was very excited to watch this film. At my first opportunity, I have watched it. It is a very satisfying experience to watch something at the tip of your finger on Amazon Prime. I've always said this, so I hope that even when we return to theaters, certain films with certain kind of content that are okay to release on OTT continue to release on OTT. That being said, this is one of those films that would not deserve a theater or does not deserve a wide release because it is a pretty small, simple film. It is not something crazy visuals, crazy acting, crazy story, screenplay that needs that environment of the theater. So I'm happy it released on OTT. That being said, this is a supernatural thriller where Prithviraj plays the cop, Aditi Balan plays a very key character, and what happens in these mysterious circumstances of a haunting in Aditi Balan's place, why there is a haunting, why there is a random skull found by Prithviraj and team, and what is that investigation and cold case they are trying to solve is the story of the film. The film itself is a little slower than I would have expected from the teaser and trailer. The teaser and trailer promised us a very gripping, edge-of-the-seat investigative thriller with supernatural elements thrown in, and as a fan of horror, which is all kinds of horror films, I was very excited for this movie. And given the fact that Prithviraj has done some extremely brilliant thrillers such as Nine, Ezra, Adam Jones, etc. that were very entertaining. Of course, Memories, Mumbai Police, all of that as well. This movie, however, has a pretty slow screenplay. I mainly think that the movie is uneven in terms of the pacing, and that is the biggest problem of the movie. A thriller movie needs to keep the audiences guessing, interested, invested, and I think the first 40 to 45 minutes sets up the film pretty well, pretty engaging, entertaining. This is happening, that is happening, this next, what next, where is this coming from? And then the film dips a little into the investigative tactics of Prithviraj, where he goes around asking a bunch of people questions, tries to follow one lead after the other, and these are pretty much long drawn conversations or simple conversations that are not shot with any extraordinary circumstances, which is a realistic approach, so no complaints on that front. But the screenplay for an audience watching it on OTT definitely feels a little dipped and you don't feel as engaged with the movie. The film then tries to pick up pace with certain flashbacks or more and more discoveries. However, it is a very lackluster finish that leaves you wanting for much more. Suchitra Pillai's character is also in a very cameo sort of role, and that angle of the supernatural could have been explored a little more. However, it is a very textbook usual story of why the supernatural entity was haunting, what might have happened to him or her, what is, the purpose of this supernatural entity, etc. The revealing twist or the turn and all this problem solving that happens is also not that great. The intentions of why everything happened in the past, etc. are not that convincing. And yes, you cannot guess what happens and who did it and why they did it, but at the end of the day, there needed to be a little more exploration of certain elements. There needed to be some uniqueness to it. With Ezra, he gave us the whole Jewish debug box sort of element and made it look very cinematic. It was a beautiful experience to watch this kind of a horror movie. It did very well. Adam Jones, although people found it slow, it had that sort of Satan element and satanic cult element that we've not seen before and kept us hooked and engaged with beautiful visuals of Scotland. In Nine, another very extremely fun sci-fi thriller kind of a thing that goes into the supernatural space, explores various territories, and really gives us something unique to watch. This movie, however, again, as I said, is pretty basic and not that thrilling. When the story is basic and your basic writing on the story, subplots, etc. are basic, you want to reinvent it with a better screenplay that keeps you engaged with some plot twists and turns that are pretty consistent throughout the movie so that people get that interested to keep watching it. All that did not exist in this movie. In terms of acting, I was hoping for a lot from Prithviraj and Aditi Balan. As Prithviraj rightly said in an interview, in this movie, he wanted to just play a part of the story and not make it a Prithviraj film, etc. So he didn't overdo anything. He didn't make it about himself, and he did justice to what his thought process was in just playing a part of the story. Same applies to Aditi Balan, who plays a part in the story, but because he's a brilliant, talented artist that we were looking forward to watching on screen and together, we were hoping for a little more performance element, a little more screen presence, a little more command over the character and the story, and all that didn't exist. So it was a little flat of an experience for me from start to finish. It had its moments, but I don't think it lives up to expectations. I'm going with 2.5 stars for Cold Case. Disappointed a bit here, unfortunately, but looking forward to much more from the team, the actors, and everyone else, including the Malayalam film industry as a whole. I hope you like this review. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Keep watching for much more.